Obadiah is tiny on the page, but huge in rabbinic imagination. Just one chapter, 21 verses, and Chazal squeeze it like a cosmic orange. Here's everything we actually know, cleanly separated into Tanakh, Chazal, Talmud, Midrash, and later Jewish tradition. Obadiah means servant of Yah. Irony alert. The rabbis will later make that name do some serious work. It is the shortest book in the Tanakh with only one chapter with 21 verses. Obadiah prophesies after Jerusalem's destruction, almost certainly 586 BCE. Jerusalem has already fallen, Obadiah 1, verses 11 to 14. Edom stood by, or worse, participated. Refugees were captured, looting occurred. This places him roughly in the Babylonian exile period, contemporaneous with Jeremiah and Ezekiel. The subject matter is laser-focused on Edom, not Assyria, not Babylon, not Israel's sins, just Edom and their moral failure. The prophet's accusations against Edom consist of it standing idly by while Jerusalem burned, their rejoicing at Judah's downfall, their participation in the looting of Jerusalem, and their handing Jewish fugitives over to Israel's enemies. The key verse in this shortest of prophecies is found in verse 14. Do not stand at the crossroads to cut down their fugitives. That verse has haunted rabbis for centuries. It reveals some interesting theological ideologies. Arrogance brings collapse. Brother who betrays brother is judged more harshly. Divine justice is inevitable, and it will end with redemption for Israel and even Edom. And saviors shall ascend Mount Zion, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Verse 21. That last line makes the book messianic, not merely political. Who was Obadiah according to our sages of blessed memory? Here's where things get spicy. The Talmudic identification is found in Sanhedrin 39b. Obadiah is identified as the same Obadiah who served King Ahab. Yes, that Ahab, the one married to Jezebel, the one running a Baal-infested kingdom. 1 Kings 18 relays that Obadiah was very God-fearing and hid 100 prophets, feeding them during Jezebel's purge. Why does this matter? Chazal say, let Obadiah, who lived among the wicked and did not learn from them, come and prophesy against Edom, who lived among the righteous and learned from them. Sanhedrin 39b, Obadiah lived in spiritual sewage and stayed pure. Edom lived next to Israel and absorbed all that corruption. This contrast becomes the moral engine of the book. Obadiah and Edom have a deeper rabbinic framework. Edom equals Esav. Chazal universally identify Edom with Esav, Jacob's brother. That makes this not geopolitics, not nationalism, but a family betrayal. The Midrashic framing sets the stage. Esav's descendants never forgave Jacob for getting the birthright or the blessing of the firstborn. Edom waits for Israel's fall while Obadiah exposes their rot. Why Obadiah specifically? Midrash says Obadiah himself was an Edomite convert. Not unanimous, but common thinking. If true, this is devastating. A descendant of Esav condemns Esav. The Midrash Tanchuma says, from Esav comes one who strikes Esav. In other words, justice, poetically delivered. The Midrash treats Obadiah as a moral paradox. He is a minor prophet with major courage and no miracles, just the prophetic words of Hashem. Obadiah describes no visions, yet is trusted with a universal judgment. The prophet's main themes are silence is guilt. Edom's sin wasn't starting the fire, it was watching it burn. Gloating over suffering is a crime. Rejoicing at another's destruction is worse than directly attacking them. Arrogance is self-delusion. Edom's mountain fortresses, Petra imagery, symbolize false security. Though you soar like the eagle, from there I will bring you down. Verse 4. The Midrash teaches from this that the higher the arrogance, the harder the fall. Edom mistakes geography for destiny. Many have asked over the centuries, why only 21 verses? Chazal say, sometimes Hashem needs one hammer blow, not a symphony. Obadiah speaks once, and that's enough. Obadiah is considered a true prophet, not the wrongly titled minor one. The term minor refers only to the book's length, not the importance of it standing alongside other prophets such as Jeremiah or Isaiah. His prophecy is cited in discussions of divine justice, national accountability, and messianic sovereignty. Obadiah verse 21 is cited in messianic discussions, restoration of Davidic rule, universal recognition of Hashem's kingship. Chazal read this as Edom's downfall precedes its final redemption, and Israel's restoration is moral, not militaristic. What we don't know about Obadiah, and Chazal freely admit it, is no genealogy of Obadiah the prophet is given in Tanakh. Tanakh, no hometown is mentioned, no death account, no personal narrative, and no miracles attributed to him, which is precisely why the rabbis elevate him. He disappears into the shadows of history, so the message remains forever. So what is our final rabbinic portrait that we can glean from all of this, the putting it all together, so to speak? Obadiah is a righteous man in an evil court, possibly a convert from Edom, a protector of prophets, a witness to Jerusalem's fall, a moral prosecutor of betrayal, and most clearly, a herald of divine sovereignty. Yes, a small scroll, big judgment, zero ambiguity. Thank you for tuning in for this brief but important look into the shortest prophetic book in the Hebrew Bible. I hope this will encourage you to look into this and all the other prophetic writings in the Tanakh. Please like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Substack, and Blogger. Leave comments below or contact me via email to shmu@startmail.com. Until next time, this is Shmuel ben Shlomi of Shmu's Views wishing you shalom.